Hello.
Hey, Brad, how are you?
I am wonderful and a half, except for I worked out Saturday and I got a little, I don't know if it's a pinched nerve or something in my back that's kind of going down into my hip. And so other than that, I feel fine.
Okay, that's good.
What are
So
you
if
doing? Looks
everyone,
like you're outside in the mountains.
yeah, this is a famous mountain in Cape Town in South Africa called Table Mountain, one of the most beautiful spots in the world. And it's one of my favorite cities to go to. Yeah, and I love putting these virtual backgrounds. But
Well, I redid mine. You see my little Magic Lounge sign
yeah,
back there.
that's
I
pretty great.
moved
And we're
that
going to talk a
into
little bit about the magic aspect, right? During this
sure.
short kind of discussion. So I'd just like to kind of give some perspective to our audience and why we're doing this particular talk with Brad. Brad and I are basically fellow internet enthusiasts and internet marketers, and we are working in a specific opportunity together, which we're going to talk about a little bit and how it can benefit you as the general public, whoever is watching this. So, Brad, let me start off with kind of getting a sense of your background. And firstly, why should people listen to you or not listen to you? Just to give some perspective to people in terms of, showing we're two normal guys.
Sure.
We're doing this for a specific reason.
Well, why they should listen to me, I guess, is because I've been there, done that. I'm 63, so I've been around the block a little bit. And why they should not listen to me is because they don't know who I am. So that's why we're here to introduce myself to you. And if you don't like me, don't work with me. And if you do, then maybe you do. So the nice thing about the internet is there's so many people out there. They used to say that you can't make, what is it? You never get a second chance to make a first impression. And so what? There's other impressions you can make these days. It's no longer you're stuck in your own little community. The world is your basic platform. So my background, it started as a magician, like with the thing up here, this is the Magic Lounge. I started doing magic when I was a little kid. Guy made a quarter disappear, pulled it out of my ear, and I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. And I started dabbling in that as a hobby through grade school into high school. And then I actually started doing shows at churches and hospitals and making some money doing shows. And then I got a job when I graduated high school in 1975. I worked for about 3 years and I got laid off. And I thought, where's my gold watch? I thought I had a job. So I learned early that I wanted to be self-employed because I felt it was a little more secure. So that whole magic thing got me in the event industry. And I started producing seminars and workshops. And there's sort of a lead generation thing. You do a real estate seminar because you want to get people into real estate, or you might do a financial planning seminar because you want to get them into your, work on their portfolios and things. So I did a lot of events, and then just recently finished my event planner expo in March 4th. And this COVID thing came along and it put the brakes on the event industry. So I pivoted over and doing this online internet thing. And to me, this internet thing is really the same as brick and mortar live in-person stuff. It's just, you're kind of removed. And I think a lot of people forget that when they're doing opt-in forms, trying to get email addresses, they don't realize that there's a human on the other side of that email address. And people got to realize that this is like real life. I mean, here you and I are talking, and you're over in, is it South Africa?
Yep.
And I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're talking in real time,
Exactly.
thousands of miles away. That's fascinating.
So that's a very important aspect you mentioned. I mean, why we do this also through the internet is because, as you rightly said, being able to connect with anyone around the world. But I think it just broadens your market base. If you mentioned the traditional brick and mortar kind of business, now with the online space, you can actually sort of reach out to anyone really. And obviously people are watching this on a platform called YouTube, which is a global platform. So won't be surprised if we have someone way down in Australia actually currently watching this. And to say that this specific opportunity that we're working with, which is called Easy1up, is available internationally. It's not restricted to specific countries. So what I want to understand, Brad, is that, you mentioned something very important about your journey where you kind of spoke about, getting laid off. And obviously during the current scenario, especially with COVID, what's happening, I'm sure you've heard a lot of family and friends that have gone through something similar, like I have. And it is obviously changing the way work is done going forward. So what are your thoughts around that, and how that relates to something online like how we are doing, promoting Easy1up?
Well, specifically, I think it's important for a person to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And this kind of goes right into Easy1up. It's some of the first trainings. If for those that don't know what Easy1up is that's sort of just the name of it. What's inside of it is education. So it teaches people how to be an entrepreneur, how to do social media marketing, how to get ranked on YouTube. And it teaches the mindset. And it's something that I've had as an entrepreneur, because your average person would go, oh my God, I don't have a job in the event industry anymore. What am I going to do? And they panic and they try and, well, I'm just going to go work at Walmart because I need money. When they could have been innovative. And what I did with my business is I pivoted. Because there's not a lot of events happening right now, I decided to go online. And I've done some online stuff. I mean, I've been doing internet marketing since Netscape, if you remember that. So I've been involved with the internet, because the internet is fascinating to me. So the Easy1up platform, to me, again, it's just the name of it. And the reason it's called Easy1up is because the compensation structure on it is a pass-up model where one of the commissions gets passed up to the other person. So this is not that multi-level marketing pyramid thing where you go down multiple levels and all that. And it's not a money Ponzi scheme thing either, because the product is education. And it's people need to learn these different things. You need to learn about mindset. You need to know that, just because I'm not working today, I can sleep in till 11. No, you got to get up and go to work. So you got to have that entrepreneurial mindset, and Easy1up teaches you that kind of stuff and explains why it's so important. And then there's other things that are more hands-on education in there. There's a lot of information there. I've only tapped part of it, but there's a lot of information as far as learning. And the other thing I wanted to bring in too is, granted, you can get this training for free if you just Google it or go on YouTube. However, it's going to be hit and miss. Who's doing it? Is it some 17-year-old kid that's making money doing video games, trying to teach you as an adult how to do these certain things? Granted, he's making doing video games.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
You might run into people that aren't that, would you say, ethical or moral, the way they're teaching. I do these air quotes thing all the time. I don't know why.
Yeah,
The Easy1up information it's a good information that's curated from the people that really know what they're talking about.
I think that's a very important point you touched on. Is basically when people start online, excuse me, but basically when people start online, one of the biggest things that we have probably seen, both you and I, is people saying, I don't know what to actually promote. I don't know what to sell. And, one of the things I found was that works really well online is educational based digital products, which essentially what Easy1up is, but it gives you the option to earn. So that's straight away. And that's the beauty of an online based product like Easy1up, where you can actually start promoting something without the need of worrying about building something of your own. And, put a little disclaimer here, but you can obviously make a certain amount of money based on your efforts and obviously, whatever you use as your marketing tactic. I mean, you've recently had some success with Easy1up, and perhaps you just want to touch on that a little bit, just to give some perspective for our audience as well.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because, as humans, when we take an action, we expect a reaction out of it. When you go and pay your $5, $6 for a coffee at Starbucks, you expect to get that coffee. So there's that direct thing that you think. But the way this internet thing works is more just putting the information out there in a sincere, authentic, and genuine way. And then when someone happens to see it, all of a sudden they go, yeah, okay, because they saw a video or something. So that to me is like passive income. And it happens where I'm sitting there on my phone, goofing around, looking at stuff. All of a sudden a thing comes in and goes, ping. I go, what's that? You made us an Easy1up sale. And it's kind of like, cool, because I wasn't actively talking with this gentleman trying to say, if you give me $250, I'll let you have access to this. It happened through the system. So if you can know, like another analogy, and I like to use analogies because people can grasp onto them, is like a farmer. When the farmer plants the corn kernel in the ground, he doesn't sit there and try and pull the corn out of the ground. He waits and it comes and it sprouts. And it takes some time for it to get up and then blossom. And then there's corn in there. And you got to wait. You got to be patient. And you can't just stop. You can't just plant the kernel and then just walk away from it. You need to come back and water it and fertilize it and make sure the weeds are gone, and you need to take care of it. That's the whole relationship thing. So the guy that signed up with me, I have been talking to him for probably 2 years. I'm not saying that it's going to take that long, but that's kind of my point, is I was building that relationship. And then all of a sudden there's something that resonated with him, because he was not going to buy a booth from me in my event planner expo. But what I'm doing here with Easy1up, he saw it and he said, he looked into it and he bought it. And that's kind of how that really works, you know?
So that's very interesting, Brad, because I think one of the things that you've done is you've actually set up a YouTube channel, which is pretty much just you yourself presenting your own brand. And one of the reasons you and I are speaking like this is because we want to show people that you can still develop this kind of, platform online where it's you as a brand presenting yourself. And people connect with that brand. And obviously, like you had with your particular sale here, you were able to actually get someone who related to you as a brand and was able to obviously trust you to buy from you. So how important is that? And there's a reason, obviously, that we'll come to at the end of why we do this as well.
How important is it to create your own brand?
Yeah, correct. And why your specific methodology of using YouTube, for example. I mean, that's just one of the platforms you can use, but how that connects with promoting something like Easy1up.
Well, I think it connects with promoting anything. And the reason I do video is this is the closest thing to being live and in person. I can see who you are. You can see who I am. I'm telling you authentically and sincerely. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, or actually Minnetonka, which is a western suburb. You know that I'm real. You can look me up. You can find my phone number. I'm trying to be open and transparent. And I'm creating my own brand. And my logo is right here. Nobody can take that from me. It's just it's mine. Whereas if you are starting to build a product and represent a company, if that company vanishes like vapor, so does your income. But with me, right now I'm focused on Easy1up. Part of the reason is because it's fairly easy. And there's other things that I can start promoting. Like my friend with the David Kirkby, if he wanted to start promoting golf equipment, he could create a website around golf equipment. And there's affiliate programs that are tied in with golf equipment. And then on the side, he can have, if you want to sell golf equipment too, you can learn how to be an affiliate marketer with this platform called Easy1up. So he could sell one Easy1up as a sort of sidebar. And a lot of people don't do that. They end up building everything around the company. They'll even get a domain name that has the company name in it. And then when that company happens to go away, because they do, I mean, that's what happens sometimes, their business is gone.
Exactly. And unfortunately, we have come across some people that have gone through that process, which is why we stress on the whole aspect of building your brand. And you obviously have a very renowned brand called MagicBrad, or the MagicBrad Show. And I know you've been doing quite a few of those shows, entertaining people, informing people, because everything is around the basis of education for us. And that is why we resonate with a company like Easy1up, because it's all about the education aspect and obviously helping people, especially those that want to actually come online and sort of start a kind of, if you want to say, a business of sorts, which obviously allows someone to actually start making some form of passive income. But As a final kind of thing, Brad, we spoke about business, but perhaps you want to touch a little bit about business, because a lot of people, when they come online, they hear the word business or something around those aspects, and they kind of get a bit jittery, like, oh, now I have to start a business. Do you perhaps just want to talk a little bit about that and how that's a bit different online?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. But to me, the word business sounds a little bit too close to busyness. And I personally don't want to be busy. I mean, I like to be active, but I don't want to have, no free time to go and do. Sometimes I like to go down to the place and get an ice cream cone. I want to have the freedom. I want to go walk around a lake. I want to go to the beach. I want to take a vacation. I want that freedom. That's really important to me. So you should protect yourself with a business. You should put your thing in and create like an LLC or incorporate yourself. And you need to accommodate for taxes and income and all that kind of stuff, so you're legal. But you don't necessarily need to go rent an office and get a sign made and bring in a telephone and hire a receptionist and have a warehouse. You don't really need all that. You just need to start promoting these products. And basically, that's what I love about affiliate marketing too, is it's not like the arbitrage thing where you go shop for a bunch of wholesale stuff and drop it off at Amazon, and then you got to pick it and pack it yourself and ship it, and make sure you got the right amount of postage on there so it doesn't come back. And with affiliate marketing, most of the stuff is like digital type products. And I'll say not all digital products. There are some things that are like, I was promoting liquor for a while, which is kind of weird because I don't drink, but there's what they call subscription boxes, where people get a monthly subscription to have little samplings of certain liquors. Like there's tequila lovers, vodka lovers, whiskey lovers, and they get these little sample boxes once a month that's delivered to them. What's cool about that is it's recurring monthly commissions, just like your recurring monthly bills. So if you can get enough income coming in to offset your monthly bills by $1, you're financially free. So the idea of creating it as a business where you think you've got to hire a computer programmer to put together a website, and you really don't need that. All you really need is the access to the internet. And really that's almost all you need. And then you get the links and stuff.
Yeah. And I would just add, if you want to do some form of marketing, that is really only your only expense you need to focus on. And there's both free and paid methods. Brad and I kind of focus more on the video aspect, which is organic and is free. It takes a little longer, but the reason we explain that was so that we can make you understand how, from a brand perspective, you can actually build something long-term and which is sustainable as well. So, Brad,
I want to throw something.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead and finish up.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to throw something in there that some people, our brains are left and right, so that we think that way. We think, okay, it's either free or it's paid. The reality is you could do free organic like this, and also why not throw in an ad to make the video get a little more traction to it? And if you get real creative, why not with some of these programs like there's that other one we use called StreamYard, where you can create, I'm getting kind of technical, but you can create like transparent overlays and put a sponsorship up there. You can find a local company, maybe your buddy's got a car dealership or something, and say, hey, would you sponsor my video ads if I, mention your company once in a while? You put his banner up there, have him pay the $1,000 for the ads for you.
Yeah.
And you say, this is sponsored by Bob's Auto. So you can get creative like that, where it doesn't have to cost you money. Even though it's paid advertising, it doesn't have to come out of your pocket.
And also all of that you can learn from Easy1up, because it's all in there and it explains everything around paid marketing. So
what's
pretty
that
much
called? It's called, I learned it before. It's called the, I forgot what it's called, but there's a terminology for that where you're a funded proposal, I think it's called.
Funded proposal, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically proposing your business, but it's funded by somebody else. So
Correct.
You learn a lot.
Yeah. So Brad, the thing is, like, obviously, both of us are actually doing this for a particular reason as well. Apart from informing everyone, giving everyone some suggestions. Do you want to just touch a little bit about the magic deal aspect and how exactly that works? And the reason I'm mentioning that is because if people are wondering how they can actually become a part of Easy1up, there's a specific link that will be provided below in the description. But Brad will just give a bit of insight in terms of how that link works and what's the basis around that.
Sure. Um, Basically what this is the link is called ourmagicdeal.com. So what I did with that is I went to Google domains and just got a domain name, and that's pointing to what's called a URL rotator. And what that URL rotator does is when more and more people get involved in this, we'll call it a collaboration or a co-op or whatever, the traffic goes into that and it gets distributed to the participants equally. So if someone is really good at, say, video marketing, and someone else is really good at copywriting, and somebody else is really good at social media, those three people working together, it really concentrates a sort of, a hybrid of traffic into that funnel, into that source, and then it's distributed to these individuals. And I'm doing this a little bit different. Some people, what they do, it's almost like some of you are familiar with that multi-level marketing thing, where it goes down and you've got a team of 5,000 or 7,000 people. My strategy on this is different, where you don't have all those people, because that can get overwhelming and you forget who are all these people. So the way this is happening, the way we're doing it, is building it cellularly, so it doesn't saturate, because you don't want to be putting all your energy in there and find out there's 1,500 people in this rotator, and it's got to go around the circle, and by 1,500 people, it's going to be a long time before I get it again. So we're keeping it tight to 7 people. So it's going to be much easier for you to be recognized, because you're 1 out of 7 as opposed to 1 out of 1,500. That makes sense?
And Brad, at the moment, it's really just us two. So if you do click on the link, you either will see Brad or myself, and whoever it is, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, you're still getting the same product and value. But the idea is that if you do actually join, and then obviously, you are part of Easy1up, then we can possibly get you into the same kind of collaboration and make you one of those 7 people that, can get involved in this, and also help you shoot videos like this, where we get your brand out and you can also stand out as a person. So I think that has given a lot of insight for everyone. And Brad, I want to thank you for the time you've taken, obviously, to speak about this concept. There will be a lot more of these interviews between us, and if we'll obviously cover a lot more in depth about using platforms like Easy1up and how it can actually benefit you more as a person who's just perhaps looking to start online, or perhaps you're someone who's an intermediate or an experienced marketer, but you never really come across Easy1up. And Brad and I are here to help you with any sort of aspect that you're not really clear about. But be sure to check the link, as Brad explained, in the description. And hopefully we will see you as part of the journey in helping you actually start your online business at the earliest possible. Thanks, Brad. We
Thank
will
you.
see you in another interview soon.
Okie doke. Thanks. Peace.
Peace. Peace.